was saying.
I feel like the federal government has no reason to listen to the people when we have civil protests throughout the nation on a day called the Tea Party, and the media completely ignores us, almost like it never happened. It's almost like they don't want to hear from us. And I thought we were supposed to have freedom of the press to represent the people, to let the government know how we feel.
Let me tell you a couple of things. First of all, I understand exactly what you mean, and that's why I believe in the 912 Project, or whatever it is. I mean, what is the name of, Carl, what is the name of yours? For
Henry
the
Caucus.
Patrick Henry Caucus. It's just people linking together. And you might feel small and insignificant. Who was responsible for warning that the British were coming? Paul Revere. Who else? Anybody else? The British are coming, the British are coming. Everybody remembers Paul Revere. But there were a lot of people involved in that. In fact, Paul Revere was really kind of just the only guy. He was the guy on the horse. That's really all he did. There was a doctor in Boston that was actually kind of kept to his house because the government was very upset at him. The British government, they were like, you stay in your house. He stayed in his house, but he really was the mastermind behind it. He set all of this up. There was another guy that saw they were waiting for the British to come. Were they going to go by sea or are they going to come off those ships? These two giant British warships were there. Remember, Great Britain was the most powerful on the planet. It was us. Okay? And so they were waiting. Are they going to get off those ships? Or are they going to take those ships around? What are they going to do? Well, somebody was down by the tavern at night. There was a curfew. He snuck around. He went to the doctor's house and he said, hey, they're getting ready. Okay? The British are coming. Doctor said, go get a couple people for me. Go get this guy and go get Paul Revere. They both came. They went to the side door of the doctor's house. He said, listen, Paul, here's what I want you to do. First of all, you have a boat, right? I need you to get into that boat, and I need you to take Paul to the other side. Go between the warships. I have a horse waiting for you there. Paul, you get onto the horse, and you say the British are coming, and you tell everybody, ride as fast as you can. So the guy with the boat went down. It was a rowboat, a little rowboat, and he got in. He told Paul Revere, get down in the boat. Here are these two giant warships sitting there in the harbor. It was a full moon. The guy's taken his oars, and he's just rowing. He has to go between the two ships. There are people on the deck. It's a curfew. Quietly, he rows, goes between the two ships, gets to the other side, takes Paul Revere to the guy with the horse and says, ride. The point of the story is, it's not just Paul Revere. I don't know who Paul Revere is, but Paul Revere is going to be the guy that gets all the attention. What role do you play? Are you the brave guy who was out at curfew that went to the doctor's house? Are you the doctor? Are you the guy with the boat? Are you the guy with a horse? Or are you the guy that rides and says the British is coming? We all play a role. Don't ever feel small and inconsequential. Everyone plays a role. History is so poorly written, Professor, tell me if I'm not right. History is so poorly written, and it's only taught to us, what year did Paul Revere ride? I don't care what year Paul Revere ride. That's not the point. That he rode is the point, and that it took a lot of Americans to put it together. You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. On this Memorial Day, remember that reason. And row, walk, or ride. Back in a minute.